Well, good morning, everyone. Now that Ms. Berry has joined us, I'll call the meeting. I'll call the meeting to order. First item on our agenda, or actually item 2 on our agenda, is to approve the minutes of the meeting of April 11th, 2019. I have a motion and a second on item 2. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 3 is a consent docket. We have 2 items. Item B, there was not a specific item in our packet. Wiley, do you know anything about this one? The Deutsche Bank settlement?
On the Deutsche Bank?
Yeah, it's to our benefit.
I think we had an item on some time back where we talked about this, and the settlement was approved through the Attorney General's Office of Oklahoma, and I visited with them, and they said we should accept the settlement because that was all we were going to be able to get.
Okay.
So we have done that.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any other questions on the consent docket? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. I have a motion and a second on item 3. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item 4 is to ratify approvals. We have 3 items. I've asked Wiley to give us the 30,000-foot summary on item 4C, which I executed last week.
As part of the Apollo Fund process, when we initiated our contract with them, and each and every entity that does so has the opportunity to submit language changes to the agreement. And there's a clause in there that says we have a right to accept any of those clauses that they might accept from somebody else as part of our contract. So they submitted to every entity that's part of the fund a 400 or so page document with everybody's suggested language that they had already accepted. And with the help of our consultant, we went through the 400-page document and selected the provisions that we wanted to add to our contract that are beneficial to us. And we had to submit that by April 30th. And we didn't get it till like April 15th or something. Right. We had a very short period of time, but we did that, and we're asking you to ratify our actions in submitting that on April 30th. The resolution that was sent out with your packet had a typo, scrivener's error in the title. It says April 3rd. That should be April 30th. It's correct on your agenda. So we have revised the resolution to accurately reflect April 30th.
Any other questions for Wiley? Hearing none, entertain a motion on item 4. I have a motion and a second on item 4. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Chair, we didn't need to approve that with the correction, did we? No, it was a non-material correction.
Item 5 is to approve the claims docket. I have a motion and a second on item 5. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item 6 is to approve the following applications for service retirement. We have 6. I have a motion and a second on item 6. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is to receive the report of death, authorize payment of the $5,000 death benefit, and approve continuation of pension to spouse. I have a motion and a second on item 7. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 is to receive the report of death, authorize continuation of pension to the spouse. I have a motion and a second on item 8. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 9 is to receive the report of death, authorize payment of the $5,000 death benefit, and authorize Secretary to make necessary changes to conform on the following. I have a motion and a second on item 9. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 10 is to approve the following application of vested rights. I have a motion and a second on item 10. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item 11 is to approve the request of the following to terminate vested rights and commence receiving retirement benefits. Motion and a second on item 11. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 12 is to receive the report of death of employee while in active service, approved pension to spouse. I have a motion and a second on item 12. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 13 is items for individual consideration. Item A is the Administrative Services Agreement between the Oklahoma City Employee Retirement System and the City of Oklahoma City for administration of the 457 Deferred Compensation Plans and the Money Purchase Plan and the Trust number 8751 and number 7697 of the City of Oklahoma City. I have a motion second on item 12A. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 13B is agreement between the Oklahoma City Employee Retirement System and the City of Oklahoma City regarding the city's obligation to provide certain professional and non-professional services and office rental to the Oklahoma City Employee Retirement System and for the retirement system to provide certain professional services for the city. I have a motion and a second on item 13B. All in favor? All opposed? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think as part of this agreement, there's a provision in there that also covers ACG doing some work through the ERS on behalf of the 401.
There is a separate item on that one. There is a separate item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's item C. Okay. Item 13C, did we vote on B?
That's the item, Wiley.
No.
No, you didn't
Okay.
call for A and then.
Okay, so we still need a motion on item B.
No, we have a motion, you just didn't.
Okay, all in favor of approving item 13B? All opposed?
My point with B was to say the city's going to pay for those services that you're doing with ACG through that contract.
Okay. Thanks, Wiley.
So Wiley, item C, 13C, is related to item B because the services under item C are being paid for through item B. Got it.
That was my point.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Item 13C is Asset Consulting Group, LLC, Non-Discretionary Consulting Agreement. This is the item where we are contracting with AGC to look at both of the 457 plans and the 401 plan.
I have some questions on that.
Okay.
Okay. So they're not giving any investment advice in this particular contract, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And then do we have an ADVB that was supposed to be attached to this that I don't see? Item 9C on this. It's a pretty important document.
Okay.
What was the question?
Say that again. I didn't.
On 9C, it says that there's an ADV attached to this, which is a pretty important document that I don't see in here.
On 9C?
Yeah.
It should be a separate contract, Asset Consulting Group
9.
agreement.
On page 3 of that contract, he's referring to under 9C.
Oh, in the contract itself.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Investment advisors generally provide this, it's a standard form ADV. I think you're just saying you'd like a copy.
Yes, I would. It's a pretty important document.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Client has received more than 48 hours before its execution hereof a copy of Part 2 of ACG's Form ADV and Privacy Policy.
Which is attached.
A copy of which is attached here too, which It is not attached.
Well, I didn't see it, but I do miss things.
What's the pleasure of the board? Would we like to continue this a month and ask for that form?
Wiley, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
9C in the contract?
That's a good catch.
Take a look at those. We can provide them to you.
Well, yeah, I'd definitely like to look through it, but I don't know if we can approve it subject to receiving that.
It's fine with me.
I
just
don't
assumed
see
that-
an issue with us,
Yeah, I just assumed
Continuing
he
it
was
to
going
next
to
month.
attach them to it, but
yeah. What's the pleasure of the board? You want to carry it over to next month?
Does that create any operational issues?
I don't believe so. We're kind of at a loss with Renee not here, and Jason, he missed his flight. He called me this morning. There was a mechanical issue with the plane on his flight, so he called me this morning and said he couldn't be there, offered it, so.
this is just taking their current agreement and adding this other language to it. So it's, those terms were provided with their current agreement with us, and they did provide them to Renee as part of this agreement. Now, I would apologize on her behalf for not submitting them to you as, with this agreement. But if you want to look at those before you approve it, the privacy agreement, it is what is in effect right now with their current agreement with us.
But we didn't have anything time-sensitive in relation to the 457 plan, the services. I don't believe this was something we've been working on.
Right.
It's my
That's
understanding.
Yeah,
correct.
there's
This
no
is-
time sensitivity that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any time sensitivity. It's not only looking at the 457, it's also looking at the 401 plan. And I don't think that there would be any problem with deferring this to next month until we get the document.
I think out of good practice, if there's no issues, that would probably be the best thing. That, in the investment world, that's a pretty standard disclosure form. We review it on all of our other investment advisors throughout the city, and it was a good catch. I think it probably hasn't changed much from the last time we did a contract with them, but it's as part of our normal diligence. I think it'd be prudent to wait so we take a look at that, make sure there's nothing in there that's of concern.
Would you like to put that in the form of a motion?
Yes, I move we defer to the next meeting.
I have a motion and a second for deferral of item 13C till next month. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Could I ask a quick question about that?
Sure.
It looks like when we do approve this agreement, Wiley, we are going to approve an additional $60,000 of expenses outside the budget that we approved in the prior item. Is that right?
That's correct.
It's my understanding, Jim, if I could, and Wiley can jump in here, but the city will actually be paying the total cost of that agreement. So it will reimburse the ERS for the expenses associated with the work performed by ACG for the 401 and 457 plans.
Okay. Okay.
Right, that's what the prior item included, additional funds from the city
Right.
to ERS to pay for this contract.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Would not be probably appropriate for ERS to pay for an analysis of 401 and 457.
Right, it's city
So we
plan.
did it through the city.
Right. Okay. We have one other item under 13. Item 13D is the audit contract with Allen Gibbs Hulick LC to provide audit services for July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019. I have a motion and a second on item 13D. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 14 is the investment consultant report. As I stated, Jason missed his flight. Well, I don't want to say he missed his flight. The flight was unable to get here due to a mechanical issue, so he emailed Francis the monthly ASAP report, which has been distributed. So if you have any questions on that, you can address those to Jason next month. And item 15 is comments from board, staff, and citizens. I personally just want to say, Dennis, we're very grateful and happy that you're back with us. So, any other comments? Hearing none, we're adjourned at 10:16. There have been shorter meetings.